Children, good morning. Hope you all are keeping well and studying nicely. Today we shall be learning EVS 2 lesson number 7 Swaraj First Conquest. As children, in the previous lesson we had already studied how Shivaji Maharaj took the oath of Swaraj along with his comrades in the temple of Raireshwar. Then we had also studied preparation of Shivaji Maharaj in the Marble Valley and the special royal seal which was being casted by Shahaji Raje for Shivaji Maharaj. Today, in lesson number 7, Swaraj, First Conquest, we shall be studying more about the spread of Swaraj, how Shivaji Maharaj managed to capture many forts. Shivaji and young Mavlas took oath of Swaraj at Raireshwar temple. It is no doubt true that Shivaji and his comrades took the oath of Swaraj in the temple of Raireshwar. But it was a very difficult task. Why? Because in those days Maharashtra was governed by 4 different powers. The Mughal Emperor of Delhi, Sultan Adil Shah of Bijapur, the Portuguese of Goa and the Siddhi of Zanjira. They were powerful opponents, firm in their authority. No one would dare utter a word against them. Utter means to say. Under these difficult conditions, Shivaji had taken the oath of Swaraj. There was no comparison between the vast forces of the enemy and a handful of Shivaji's Maulas. But Shivaji's mind was made up and his firm resolve was his greatest source of strength. The next topic is Torna Fort. Maharaj controlled the Jagirs of Pune, Supe, Chakan and Indapur. All the forts in the Jagir were, however, in the charge of officers from the court of Bijapur. He who controlled the forts also controlled the surrounding territory. And therefore, all talk of Swaraj without the control of the forts was meaningless. A hill fort gave strategic support to the ruler, and Shivaji decided to capture one at a suitable time. For this purpose, he had selected the fort of Torna. So, he decided to capture the fort of Torna. It stands to the southwest of Pune in the Kannada Valley. It was a renowned means famous fort, which was well suited for defense. There were 2 strong marches on the way to the fort. Do you know, children, what is the meaning of marchi? A marchi is a fortification of a natural plateau formed on the slope of a hill. One of these marches was the Zunjar Machi and the other was the Budla Machi. Zunjar Machi, like its name, could offer powerful defense against the enemy. The only access to the fort was across the Zunjar Machi. It is a very difficult passage with high hills on one side and deep valleys on the other. A careless person may easily lose his balance and end his life in the deep valley. Torna was considered one of the strong forts of Maharashtra. In the fort, there is a temple of the goddess Toranzai. That is why the fort is called Torna. Strangely enough, this powerful fort was neglected by Adil Shah. There were neither enough troops for his defense nor enough ammunition. Shivaji knew this, and this was exactly what he wanted. He decided to capture the fort and thus lay the foundation of Hindavi Swaraj. The drums of Swaraj began to sound. With a few select bands of Mavlas, Shivaji descended into the Kannad valley. Swift-footed like the deer and lion-hearted in courage, they raced to the top and captured the strategic positions in the fort. Tanaji Malasuri hoisted the Maratha flag at the main entrance. Yesaji Kank, a trustworthy and loyal companion of Shivaji, posted his guards at important points. The fort was captured almost without any resistance, and the sky was filled with shouts of Shivaji Maharaj ki Jai, Shivaji Maharaj ki Jai. The first battle drums and pipes of Hindvi Swaraj had sounded, and their echo reverberated throughout the valley. Shivaji named this fort as Prachandagarh. Blessings of Goddess Bhavani. Fort Torna then came under Shivaji's administration. He made a very careful survey of it and appointed officers such as a Maratha Kiledar, a Brahmin Sabnis, and a Prabhu Karkhanis. The garrison included Mavlas, Kolis, Ramoshis, Mahars, and such brave men from many other castes and communities. In Swaraj, all castes and communities were to be treated alike and no distinction made on the basis of caste. As repairs to the fort started, a surprise awaited the people. They discovered 4 metal pots filled to the brim with mohurs. The workers were overjoyed. They said that this was a gift to Shivaji from the goddess Bhavani, who had blessed his efforts. All the money discovered was brought to Shivaji. No one thought of taking anything from it for himself. After all, it was the wealth of Swaraj. Shivaji felt greatly elated at this unexpected gift, which would enable him to pursue his ideal of Swaraj with added vigor. He felt that he was working under the benevolent eye of the goddess Bhavani. Shivaji utilized part of the treasure found in the fort to purchase arms and ammunition. The rest he decided to use for another project which was already in his mind. About 15 kilometers to the east of Torna is the hill of Murundev. Shivaji had his eye on it for a long time. This hill was steep and difficult to access, and therefore of great strategic importance. Adil Shah had actually started constructing a fort on this hill, but had left it unfinished. This hill also was not well guarded, and Shivaji decided to capture it. So children, I request you to watch this video carefully and read the lesson at least twice for a better understanding. I'll be teaching you the further part of the lesson in the next session. So thank you. Have a nice day ahead.